I'm Melanie Deppins. I am the founder of Breaker 28. We're an organization that helps women of color accelerate their careers. And this is Mind Crush Monday, the day that we talk about who you should be reading and following online and why. Today we're going to talk about Reid Hoffman and Ben Casnocha. I lost the book cover because I love this book so much. And the book that we're talking about is called The Startup of You. And what I love about this book is the concept is if you consider your career as a business, you'll make different kinds of choices to set yourself up for success. And what I love also is this book is incredibly tactical. So my favorite idea from The Startup of You is the idea of forming an interesting people fund. So a lot of us want to network better. In fact, my previous Mind Crush Monday was all about networking because this is a problem for us. And yet, we don't actually allocate funding to do just that. So let's say you want to go to a networking dinner, and it's one of these like schmoozy kind of dinners, $300, and you know, it's something you can afford, but it's not easy to afford. It's not like just no skin off your back if it was $20. How do you find the money to do that? Well, he says you make the money. You budget a certain percentage of your check, every single paycheck, into your Interesting People Fund. And you can do a lot of things with that fund. You can go to conferences, you can take people to dinner, you can meet people, hop on a train on a day off and go visit somebody that you want to meet for coffee and maybe schedule 2 or 3 meetings in the same day. But it gives you different kinds of options than those of us who are not budgeting to meet interesting people. And so if you want to start going to more conferences and your job isn't paying for those, they can be kind of pricey, $500, $1,000, $2,000. But if you have an Interesting People Fund, you don't give it a second thought. You just do it. And as you go up in your career and you're making a little extra cash, that fund needs to go up. Because a lot more of the work is in the power of your social capital and your network, which happens as you start carving out time to meet people and invest in them. So I can't implore you enough, if you don't have one, even if you're just saving 10 bucks a check, start where you start, and you'd be surprised what it allows you to do. The second idea that I'll just throw just as a freebie in this book that I just love is the metaphor that back in the day, careers were kind of like an escalator, right? Where if you just stood on the escalator long enough and did the right thing, you'd eventually get to the top, provided that you had the right connections, nothing calamitous happened, you didn't make any huge mistakes. If you just did the right thing, produced good results, you'd get to the top. But our generation, my friends, we're encountering something totally different than an escalator because our escalator is jammed at the top. We've got people who we thought would be retiring that are doing encore careers, or whose 401ks were wiped out and so they can't retire, huge healthcare costs, can't retire. And so because of that, those senior positions that used to be waiting for us are now being occupied by others who may stay in them longer. Also, we've got people at the bottom who are coming behind us, and colleges are more rigorous than ever. Getting into colleges is harder than ever. Standards are increasing. So we got these smart young whippersnappers coming up behind us who also are coming for our jobs. And so because of that, he says that this is very much the time where each of us has to be entrepreneurial about our professional future. And whether you think that's a little dramatic or not is not what I'm concerned about. The point remains that no one cares about your career as much as you, and they shouldn't. And so his point is, take it seriously and be intentional about what it is you're trying to build, because no one else is going to do that for you. And the context around jobs in the United States is changing. And we know that that's true. If you look in the retail market, how many good retail jobs don't exist anymore? How many machine-operated jobs used to belong to full-time employees? The world of work is changing, and so we can either adapt and be intentional, or we can wait and see what happens. But I don't want to be at the top of the escalator dealing with that backlog of people up there and hoping and praying that I'll get that seat. I don't know about you, but I know for me, I'm going to do everything in my power to create the future I want, and I hope you do that too. That's it for your Mind Crush Monday. Please join us again next week, where we're going to be sharing another author you should be reading and following online, and why. If you like this and you want more information from Breaker 28, and I hope you do, you've got 2 options, my friend. You can subscribe by going to imabreaker.com and just clicking the subscribe button at the top of the page in pink, Or you can go ahead and take out your phone and text the word breaker to 444-999. And what that will do is it'll put you in my email opt-in sequence, and you won't get tons of text or anything. Don't worry about that, but it'll allow you to opt in via email using your phone. All right, so that's it for us. Look forward to seeing you next week.